this is Slick Talk, female bosses of ATL.
Hey, it's Miss Iverson.
And here is Hunny.
And we have Todd.
Back with us again.
Back with us. Yes.
All right, y'all. So we're going to be talking about the effects of social media on everybody.
All age groups.
Yeah, nobody is
dogs too, because she got Instagram.
Yeah, I be getting flack from that all the time. They be like, "Are your dogs trying to add me on social media?"
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Go ahead, follow them. But
let's say something about their owner.
Ooh.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you
She a dog mom too.
Yes. Dang, look.
I didn't say what though, but I didn't say it said something bad.
I see, look at him, and now he's trying to recant.
I didn't say it said something bad.
Look, his law turn. Look.
So y'all have to learn how to, and I'm saying y'all because I don't know who I'm speaking to.
Everybody.
Y'all need to be able to differentiate real life, social media life, and both of them intertwining. So
that's for real though. I have a hard time.
It's a lot to unpack because I think a lot of people get hung up on the perfection of everything. Like, and I can attest for myself, you know, when we wake up, sometimes we don't look our best and we throw in a filter or like whatever it is. But I think what people fail to realize is that when you do, you know,
that
socialize in person, you should be able to be like, oh, okay, I'm here in real life now. Like, you know,
no filter,
no whatever. I think, and also just to point out a lot of stuff, like people get caught up on other people's success on social media, like new job, new house, new car, and it puts pressure on people who look up to these people. It don't even have to be a celebrity. There's people who follow me. And
everyday people.
I go to the gun range often. It's girls who go and buy guns and go to the gun range because I'm doing it. But that's a great thing. That's something positive. But you gotta understand, there's other people looking at it from another angle and like, you know, plotting or so it's so hard to try to.
Hey, you know, you're saying you ain't gonna
yeah, or like, you know, it's a lot, and you know, we're learning because this is fairly new to us, with it being so like in your face all the time, and now you got the metaverse and the virtual reality and the blah blah blah. Oh no, I know you lying.
That's Milani. She said,
so
yeah,
then,
y'all got me.
So then you have like you know, just people and things and just it's just a mess.
It is.
But I think I'm just grateful that I am able to like, you know, post, get off. People. Like a picture, get off. Post my work, get off. Because some people get caught up in like
the whole thing of it.
Like, oh my God, I gotta post this. Like, literally, I see people, you know, at dinner and blah, blah, blah. They can be starving, but they gonna get that video. They gonna get that picture and they gonna get that.
Facts.
But it's like, why are we like this? And it's everybody. It's not just y'all. It's me too.
It's like you said.
I'm not like that.
Disconnect though.
You know I'm not like that.
Yeah.
But it's like that disconnect between real life and I think it's not even just social media. I think it's the image that they want. Like how we talked about previously about having goals. Some people can't accept that they aren't where they want to be. Like you know, I manage social media accounts and I do the websites and stuff. So like I said, at the beginning of this year, I told Brian, I'm not posting that much, probably for the first quarter. And it's just one of those things, like, everybody needs a detox.
Right.
Like you were saying, you know, just recognizing, like, okay, I didn't want to feel this burden. And, you know, plus I had, you know, health stuff going on, too. So I was like, let me focus on this and not be worried about posting my meal or that selfie in the morning, you know, or fuck that. Y'all know I'm good because you know me in real life. Yeah. But that's the thing. It's so many people out here that they don't have it in real life. So I'm just trying to figure out where did this come from? How did we get here to where the fakeness is just the new reality? That bothers me. Because you know how many clients that come up to me and I'm like, I'm literally looking at their following, and then when we talk, I'm like, what is your content at?
Or,
you know,
where's your personality?
Who
the
are
personality
you?
you had on Instagram, why don't you have that?
Right.
I'm the same person on and off.
On and offline. I'm probably a little more raw in real life. Because I'm going to tell you about
I'm the same way. I'm literally the same way every day. Right. And it's a good thing and a bad thing. But I know how to, like, even when I go to work, you don't know if I'm having a bad day or a good day. No. Because I'm going to come and show up to work my best self, or at least try to be my full best self. But some people cannot do that. Right. And it's a part of the depression that's on this culture with having to be better than the next person, having to live up to these expectations. I've never seen so many young people so stressed out, like 23,
don't matter.
23 and you're stressed out because you want to buy your first home. Like, don't get me wrong. Purchasing a home is probably one of my biggest goals to reach, and you know, with God and my finances, it will be done this year. But it's like at 23, I was not thinking about that. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but why is it so much pressure on a 20-year-old to feel like they gotta you have to have that right now?
But you know,
what is the issue?
I can speak a little bit to this. You know, with being 37, you know, I always tell people we're getting closer to 40, so sometimes you kind of like, dang, where do I want to be at 60? And then it also made me realize, damn, where the fuck was I at 17? I actually was signing up for the army, was trying to get it together and figure out life. I think because we were in this generation that we were able to kind of have our teenage years before social media, we appreciated the process and things. That I mean, especially I know with us coming from VA, just how families are there. We saw the work ethic and the building process. Let's face it, I worked at the shipyard. So I saw a boat being built. It wasn't built overnight. That was the beauty in it. I witnessed businesses being built from the ground. I saw this person struggle. Too often with social media, people get up here and they're always saying, I'm this overnight success. I had this happen in 30 days. I had this happen in 90 days. If you constantly, because your brain is basically, it's recepting everything that you are perceiving. The only numbers you're seeing is 30, 60, and 90. So everybody's thinking, well, if it don't happen in 30 days, okay, it don't happen in 60 days, it don't happen in 90 days, something's wrong with me. No, it's not. That is some cliche that is out here that is going to just happen in a quarter. And it's like, yo, these person been grinding for 10 years, 20 years. I think we really need to get back to posting like, hey, yeah, it took me 3 months once I implemented it in January. And it came to, you know,
but the groundwork prior
but that
to
groundwork, baby, I've been doing this for 15, 20 years. Right. It's like, I think we need to show more of that. Like, I've been blessed to have good mentors that are much older than me. They're all women that are like in their 50s, some in their 60s. So they've shown me the ropes, the old way, new way. And so I appreciate that. But most people don't have that. All they have is social media. So, like, with you coming here, how did that impact you? Did you feel that need?
I mean, I really feel like we don't have. I take interest in doing things like this, you know. Off this camera, you know, y'all know me, right? So, Jazz, you know, I feel like I'm very kind of. I ain't gonna say very kind of because that's contradicting, but I feel like I'm very intellectual, you know, especially for my age. I can hold conversation. As Jazz said before, I'm a chameleon, right? So I can maneuver around. I don't think that there's too many people in the younger generation, maybe my age or younger, who can do those things and have that to look up to. Like J. Cole said in the song, I can't even quote it right now, but he said, basically, what we're supposed to do when only thing that the youth has to look up to is rappers and athletes. And it's like you don't really have nobody out here giving game.
I remember I know what song. I can't remember the song, but I can't. And he was like, "Where's like your Malcolm X's from this generation?"
And I'm the biggest Cole fan. I can't think of it right now. Yeah. But it's like that was one of the things that, like, okay, I'm gonna be an attorney, right? I'm gonna practice criminal defense, and I want to focus on African American youth. Because I feel like our African American youth is who gets blackballed, is who gets taken advantage of the most, right? So I care about the younger generation, because the younger generation is our future. That's what brought me here today, to be able to explain, to be able to talk, just to give a little free game, because it's not just floating around.
Right.
Right? Like, they charging to talk to people.
Yeah.
And it's like...
And I mean, I'm a coach, but there are conversations I always tell people, you don't have to charge for everything.
Right.
Like, somebody comes up and asks me a genuine question, I'm not going to say, oh, you got to book me.
Right.
You
now,
gotta,
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Depends on what it is.
Right. Right.
But
because
a lot
everybody
of times
put their time in.
But if it lines up with what your mission is, it shouldn't be a problem.
Right.
Yeah, not even just that.
And I ain't talking about, don't send your these, let me put this disclaimer. Don't be 30 years old sending your little cousin to me. I'm going to see through that. Let me put that out there.
Right.
You know.
But
when the babies come to you, like you said, they need that free game. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Like you said, you had your parents. Same here. We had that game, whether it wasn't the best, depending on their upbringing, because they only could give us what they had.
Exactly.
But we had it. No one was walking around saying, oh, I'm asking my auntie, how you do this? Oh, I'm going to charge you $15 to learn this recipe. What?
What's crazy?
You know what I'm saying?
I have a quote
we
in my
had
phone.
people feeding into us, and I feel like you said, the youth, they don't have much of that, except for social media.
And the thing about it is, this is the biggest thing, right? You literally just said they don't have much of it. But they yearn for it, right?
They do.
So they seek to social media where you can be validated without nobody knowing who you are, where you're from, none of that, right? I told y'all before, I throw parties, right? I came to Atlanta in 2015. In 2016, when I was in college, everybody was going to the parties that we was at, right? Like it was the parties that you knew so-and-so was going to be there, right? Because they on campus or, they name whole XYZ.
Right.
Now, it's whoever got the most followers or whatever flyer is seen the most or XYZ, right? And you might get to that club and it's crazy dead.
Yep.
But
we've had that happen before.
It's popping on IG and it's popping here, you get what I'm saying? And that's how it's going. That's how I think it's maneuvered into the sense of like, oh, if it's popping on IG, it's popping in real life. Yep. And it don't work like that.
No, it don't.
Like, it does not work like that. So, I don't know. I just feel like that's what it is. My thing is, though, like, you have kids, right? So, you've seen your kids grow up. Do you see them pay attention to social media and want things maybe that's popular because you're also in tune with what's going on here in Atlanta, right? So it's like, have you been able to see the influence or the toll that social media takes on the youth itself?
I wouldn't say social media because my children are woke, third eye fully. I mean,
and that's great.
You've seen Malcolm because she does his hair too, y'all.
I need a shirt. I need a shirt to say Jasmine, everybody here.
I'm about to tell y'all something. Before we go in there, I was sitting in the airport finna catch a flight.
Oh, yeah, you ready?
I was sitting in the airport catching a flight. I was sitting at TGI Fridays, sitting down eating. My bartender, right? He come around. He tapped me on my back. Look, he said, is your Instagram Tolliver_15? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, Jazz does your hair. We have the same loctician. And I just start laughing. I'm like, yeah, bro.
You like,
yeah, bro. I hit Jazz. I'm like, hey, Mike, we gotta chill a little bit. But Jazz really do everybody.
I'm gonna get a shirt, y'all. I'm gonna get a shirt.
Don't worry, we gonna make it.
Yeah.
But go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah.
But no, like with our sons, I guess because the way we raised them, they never really got caught up in social media. I mean, they game a lot, so I can see where sometimes they get caught up in the game. But as far as real life experiences, we're very blunt as parents, so we don't hold back. Where most parents feel like they got to be perfect to their kids, we tell them. I mean, now that they're both old enough, they know a lot of our imperfections. They know the stuff we went through, the wrong choices we made. I think as parents, it's important for you to drop that facade of perfection because they're seeing so much of it on social media. As a parent, when my kids come to me, like I literally can pull up my phone, literally, and I'm gonna show it to y'all. Malik sent me a message this week, asking about a girl issue. And I felt proud as a mom because that told me I did my job. I'm open enough with you to where you can talk to me about everything. We as parents have to leave that door open. You're gonna have to put the church aside, and I say that because I was raised heavily in the church, and a lot of topics we couldn't even talk about with our parents because it was God said it, you gonna do
Shut it out.
You know, shut it out. But it's like that. Just because you're shutting it out because God said it. That
They still gotta go to school.
Look, when they send me some of the stuff that they see at school, I'm like, the girls did what? Look, you should see me. And inside, I'm screaming because I'm like,
because it's crazy.
But at the same time, as a mom, I'm like, you know, they feel comfortable talking to me about this. Let me let them vent. Because I would rather them vent to me and get the truth. I can walk through those uncomfortable conversations, whether it's, you know, it's about girls, sex, drugs. You know, I've even asked them, like, hey, you know, y'all getting a little older. We done left y'all at home sometime, you know, go out of town. Y'all messing with our drinks. And they like, no, Mom. Like, you know, it's, I guess because we didn't raise them. They're not like wild packs of wolves or nothing. But we raised them to the point where we have effective communication. That's important. That's very important. That's any relationship.
Effective communication and trust.
And comprehension.
And trust.
You know what? That triangle. Bingo. Because you could tell somebody something all day, and if they don't quite grasp it or understand it, just like Malik, I could tell him, you know, he's going to be 18. So something I might have told him 2 years ago, he comes back to me like, Mom, you remember when we talked about that? He was like, I get it now.
That connects with me. You know, sometimes I might think about.
Yeah, you go back and think like, damn, my mama told me that.
You want me to tell you something? My mom has never told me anything wrong.
That's dang.
Never told me anything.
Dang, if he don't sound like Malik.
like it might have been wrong at that moment.
At that moment.
Or I can't even say that because it wasn't wrong. It was just at that moment. I
didn't want to hear it.
Right at that moment, it didn't validate. Right? But it has been mad times. It's like, you know what? I remember my mom saying that. I remember my mom being like, nah, bro, don't be around him. Like, I remember those things. But that goes into, and I know this is, you know, y'all show, right?
Yeah.
But
look, come on. It's your show.
That goes into my next thing.
You got on red. This is your show.
That goes into the next thing. So, not only social media now, but which has always played a part. My next thing. You think it's parenting too, for sure.
I'm going to be honest with you, it's parenting. You know, we did have our kids, our oldest at 19. You know, so, like Malik said the other day.
He grew up with y'all.
He made us grow up.
Bam.
My mom said that about my oldest brother.
He was the foundation of, it's not about me. It's not about me no more. And all I could think is once I was a mom, I didn't want him to have nothing less than what I had. All I could think about was everything that I had growing up. You know, we had like family issues and stuff, but as far as the foundation, I didn't want for nothing. I had everything I needed. You know, my kids, you know, we weren't running around wondering where our next meals and stuff were going to come from. So as a mama, I felt like, okay, I'm going to grind for mine. Period. I didn't want to be one of those moms, you know, they look back and be like, oh, she should have did better. Nah, my kids be looking at me like, Mom, you don't do nothing else, you did enough. I'm like, well, I'm still doing it. Now go clean your room. You know? You know what I'm saying? But that's just, it's the parenting, but I think it's more the style of parenting because our oldest son, some of the stuff that I resonate with him on, Malcolm is a little more intellectual because, you know, Asperger's. He pretty much was diagnosed with that as a baby. We just didn't let them stick it to him, but because we were aware of that, I knew he was going to be really like this kid. We can't do like we did with Malik. He don't want chicken tenders and just the simple stuff. Malcolm, it's a certain way.
He's very specific.
It's very, and that's what we got to learn as parents too. What might have worked for one kid might not work for the next kid.
That's right.
You know, and I think even with them both being boys, and I mean, it's just like with people. You go to work, you dealing with people. You might not can't say something to this person. I might could tell this person, man, shut the fuck up. We might have this
language. Like I talk to y'all in my chair, I can't talk to a lot of
that's what I'm saying.
You gotta stop talking to me like that too.
Boy, bye.
Man, shit. As long as she do my hair, I don't give a fuck. Look, I'll be lazy when I get about that shit. You know, but you get what I'm going. Like it's that language, and I think if parents, I think we overthink it. At first, it was one of those things I was overthinking it because Brian will tell you about 3 years ago, we was clashing. He was getting calls. You know, he was working back shift. I be calling him, lunch break, come get your son. He my son. He your son, right?
It's your child.
You know, it's your child. You know, and it was one of those things as a mom, and you won't hear too many people's parents say this, I had to look at myself and realize what was I doing wrong. I mean, as a parent, I had to say, I'm doing this wrong. I'm not communicating. I'm either not listening. There's a disconnect here. Because, and then like you said too, with the social media, I said I didn't want him to feed into that because you know when you start having a resistance, they're gonna go somewhere else for their information.
Oh, what? Yes.
So I said okay. So we literally sat back for like a few months, tried a few different things and techniques. I said, you know what? If I want these to be effective young men in our society, how would I want them to communicate with people? Started doing family meetings.
Come on now.
It worked because they now felt like they had a platform to talk, like how we're sitting here talking.
How often y'all?
Come on, family podcast.
Look.
Once a week.
My parents, once a week.
We
used to have family meetings, but it'll only be once that ball hit a certain point. Once the blood hit a certain point.
I don't know if we did ours weekly, but it was definitely
but it
once
wasn't
a
just
month.
once a week.
Yeah. Well, at that time, we had to do them once a week because it was just so much different.
That's crazy.
That
we used to have family meetings.
We did too, but it was like.
Now I was
It's almost like an
every
intervention
other-
sometimes.
But think about that. But why is that so taboo? You got to think about this. If people had effective communication, and I know this because, like I said, I haven't even been on social media too much this year, but I have connected with my boys so much this past like month and a half. It's crazy, like the holidays and stuff, because we aren't feeding into social media. They're not worried about mom trying to get the perfect angle. You know, we took our Christmas photo and I was like, screw it, we all got pants on. All right, snap, post, bye.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I hear a lot of kids complaining. My mom is like, she's nothing like her photo. Like the TikToks, the girl was like, this is the photo. This is what we look like for the 20 minutes before it.
Right.
You know, running around. And it's like, yeah, we laugh about it, but in actual reality it's sad because we're teaching our kids to put up an image. I think we really need to show them like, hey, this is the good and the bad. This is how I look in the morning. This is really me. Full makeup, you know? And this is the after. And it's the same thing with just the processes of going through life. All relationship. There's going to be a good and a bad. It's just how do you differentiate between the two? That's the tricky thing. It's not a one-size-fit-all thing. You, like you said, you're comfortable with certain things, but you might be somebody else that don't sound like that. It's like, okay, well, you ain't my people.
Social media messed it all up. Social media.
It really has.
The youth will never have a youth anymore, a childhood.
And then too, like, I know somebody made mention before, like, I mean, we all know I'm not with the person I was with before. And somebody had mentioned at the shop, they like, when I end up, you know, talking to someone else, they're like, are y'all still talking? I'm like, yeah. Like, oh, you didn't post them today. Why do you have to post somebody every day to say we're good today? Like, we're good. Like,
but
why does...
I'll tell you why. I'll tell you what I figured out.
But my thing is this. I'm a very open person. Everybody know that about me.
Yep.
You gonna know if I ain't with somebody. Because I'm going to make it very known. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, me not posting somebody just today does not mean we're not having a good day. It just means, hey, I'm at work all day and I'd rather post pictures of hair. It's nothing like entitled. And trust me, he's going to be here tonight. Like, in my mind, that's what I'm telling this person because I wanted to say it, but I'm just like, we don't have, like, I don't, you know,
but you know what?
Why does that constitute? Why does that constitute happiness?
People feel like you're obligated to let them know. I mean, like, let's face it, us being married. The people are
they want to see a picture of y'all kissing each other every day.
I tell you, I'm not even gonna front with you. I think my gripe with social media at one point, I went through it for a little bit because I was with an MLM company, and they were like, "You got to show all these different phases of your relationship."
That's cute.
So I'm like, Brian, we got to do this, and Brian's looking at me like, "Sit your ass down," you know, like I ain't gonna put because he like, I love you in real life, and when I had to really just sit there and say, you know what he did, I can't be fussing at him because he ain't. Just
trying to take this.
Like, you know, people always put stuff like, oh, if he don't post you, he this. I'm like,
dude, please.
He posts you every day, and I have seen him talk to
if this man is out in public with you,
so it's like,
every day.
That's what I was getting.
Trust me, he care about you. Because somebody who don't care about you, you gonna be at the house every day.
Yep.
You ain't going out nowhere with him. But he ain't trying to be singing with you.
Think about it. Why do people feel?
Because people are that gives them validation.
Right. They need to be validated in
your relationship. Other people want to be validated with your relationship.
For real. Because it makes them. This is what I realized. I realized, and I feel like low key, it's crazy. But a lot of people take validation, like Jasmine was saying, in the next person, right? So it's like, with that being said, it's like, if you posting your husband every day, right? then this next person may feel as if they're not doing that, or if that's not what their relationship consists of, it's not right.
But see, that's unfortunate because it's not allowing people to love people in their love language
and live in the moment.
Because everybody needs different things. Like there are some people, like you said, the words of gratification. Some people want gifts. Some people want time and
affirmation.
Yeah, so it's just like I was just telling him, like we were talking about something this weekend. I'm like, you have to learn how to love that person in their love language, not social media.
Not in yours, or not in yours.
Yeah.
I can't expect, like, with me, mine is a quality time and acts of service. The reason why I like acts of service because I'm always at work. So you doing things that I can't do because I just physically can't means a lot to me because you care about,
about you.
Yeah. And of course quality time because I was always in a long distance relationship. So that meant something to me. Right. Now, quality time not so high up on my standard now because the person who I would be talking to lives in Atlanta. Right. So it's like that don't really hold a lot of weight because I'm going to see you anyway.
Correct.
So now it's acts of service is my number one now. So it's like, and you have to operate in how they are. You can't, because you like gifts, you can't buy me gifts and think that's going to be the key to my heart because I don't care about that type of stuff.
Correct. And it's unfortunate because social media glorifies, like, they may show an act of service, but at the end of that act of service, it's a gift.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's technically, the highlight isn't the act of service. The highlight is what you just bought this person.
Correct.
And that's, like, social media, I don't think glorifies or shows the things that necessarily needs to be shown.
They don't show the full picture. Social media, I always tell people, like,
it's a snapshot.
I always tell people, you are literally seeing a 0.1 second of somebody's day, and you're building, like, how many times have you seen a picture and you're building a story off of this? I'm like, dude, you don't know what I was doing before that, or what I'm doing after, but off that little millisecond, you've now
created.
It'd be the highlights.
The highlights.
It'd be the highlights.
So it's just, So
like,
I think that's something that we definitely as a society gotta get back to real shit. Yeah.
The real question is, how do we do that?
I don't know, y'all.
So y'all put that in the comments. How do you get back to real life with social media being the forefront?
Yes. Woo. I want to hear y'all input on this.
I might put that on my story on Instagram tonight. Honestly. We want some feedback because I really want to know what y'all think.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
It is.
Good question.
All right, y'all. Well, we closing out here.
Yes. Thank you for joining us.
Yes. And I guess.
Cheers, y'all.
Yes. Come on.
Clink, clink.
Y'all ain't got none of y'all good.
I know.